Every house is built by someone. But he who built all things is God. And Moses indeed was faithful in all his house as a servant, or a testimony of those things which would be spoken after. But Christ, as a son over his own house, whose house we are, if we hold fast the confidence and the rejoicing of the hope firm to the end. Father, we thank you for your word and all it means. Originally, we came out of prayer campaign and I was speaking to God about this has been heavy in my spirit. I just kept hearing the word August. 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 It just kept ringing in my head. August. You know, we're in the month of August, aren't we? I'm thinking it's the month. Oh my God, what you trying to do in August? What you trying to do in August? What's going on in August? Crazy. I'm like, God, and I'm so focused on August. August. That's what I'm hearing. August. And then I finally grabbed my dictionary. I know what y'all been doing. Not my Bible, not that time. I know what y'all been doing. I grabbed my dictionary. And I was looking for the definition of August. And I read it to you. August is defined as something or someone that is marked by majestic dignity and grandeur. Someone who is august is someone who is marked by majestic dignity. I want you to understand one thing. There's a difference between dignity itself and majestic dignity. There's being dignified. I bet what y'all think, no, I swear. I bet what y'all think, no. Something that is marked by majesty, but majestic dignity. It's not just about reigning, but how you reign. Majestic dignity. The moment I read that, it made sense. Because I look at the church and I feel like a lot of us have lost that. Our majestic dignity. When you look at royalty, it's not that they themselves feel that they're better than everybody else. They have to be. They stand and they represent everybody else. So they got to look the best that the collective can provide. So that person's not great alone. He's great with his community. Peter had the keys of the kingdom, but he needed his community to pray him through. Majestic dignity. Now, what is majestic dignity? Someone who is royalty does not associate with just everyone. Can I give you just facts? So much so that royalty is not even allowed to marry outside of that. Now, it's a lifestyle, it's a way of being, because Abraham didn't even have a crown on his head, per se, when he made a big deal to send out his servant to find a wife for his child. He wasn't wearing a crown. He wasn't king of a nation or a country at that time. It was the lifestyle. It was the mentality of Abraham, a man of faith. My child cannot marry just anyone. Has to marry someone from my father's house. Praise the Lord. So he found a servant that he could trust. A servant that was faithful, that was loyal. A servant that wouldn't cut corners. A servant that understood what the master wanted. And that's God's attitude towards you as his child. That's why God would rather you, woman of God, have a man of God in your life. Because you belong to him, he wants you to belong to someone who belongs to him. So that there will be no conflict. Oh yeah, I've seen too many wives stuck in a fight between God and their husband. And see, royalty don't operate like that. We can't have the king and the queen just out of order, just can't see eye to eye, and then there's an issue here. Because there's a conflict. There's a conflict. And the number one conflict is that it's a tough decision when a man is without God. If you're a woman and you find you're attracted to that person, but they don't belong to God, yet you do. What do you do then? Ladies, you're not talking. What do you do then? I'm gonna talk to you, fellas. But there's more women in the world, so ladies, let's get it out of the way. What do we do at this point? It sounds easy enough, right? Right. He doesn't belong to God. Run. But he's 6'2", you know. He drives this, that, and the other, you know. He makes this much, you know. He fits the description you go for, you know. Why didn't Abraham trust him to pick his own spouse? There was a level of maturity required for that choice. Listen, the man wasn't even ready to get married yet. His father was already making preparations. He ain't never met, he ain't even meet a bride yet. Yet his father